Alright, friend, it's T-Mun, and I'm back again with a new video. Yes, my friend. It's on this channel. It's called Fitness FAQs. You probably heard of this guy. You've seen him before. He does a lot of... He's like a fitness expert, guru, whatever you want to call it. He's a pretty good guy. I don't know. He's got a good channel. Seen many of his videos. I figured, you know what? I've seen this video before, and I figured, you know what? I'll do a video on it now. I told you before, calisthenics is similar like to what people are doing in bodybuilding, mostly eccentric work. That's the superiority of calisthenics. Why are they so strong at doing these movements? Because the amount of force exerted on the eccentric is incredible, bro. I'm telling you, it's incredible because that's what builds really super strength. Because people in the gym doing concentric lifting, they may have a force production. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that people doing concentric exercise, certain things like bench pressing or OHP or deadlifting, whatever, they're not strong at doing those particular movements. They definitely got better at doing those movements, repeatedly doing them over and over again. I'm not saying that. I'm saying physically strong. I'm not talking about nervous system strong, getting good at concentrically pushing a weight in the opposite direction of gravity. I'm talking about real physical strength, because I don't know anybody that could move those type of heavy weights concentrically that can do what these guys do in calisthenics. Because if they were truly that strong, why can't they do these things that calisthenics guys do? Because they can't. Because it's based on physical strength, actual physical strength. They, like I said, they do a lot of eccentric work, and that is the superior to concentric in every way. It's something you need to figure out on your own, okay? Don't blame me for saying that. Science has corroborated this over and over again. Anyways, yeah, I'm tired of doing it over and over again. Let's review this guy's video. So yes, he's called Fitness FAQs. Says how I got bigger biceps with calisthenics. Yeah, I know you can. You don't even need weights to get muscles to become big. The amount of force that has to be, it can be overworked too. But at a certain point, it definitely will. I don't know how you put this. It could plateau at some point because he can't reach the deeper, weaker muscle fibers. That's the problem. All right.
How to grow bigger biceps with calisthenics. Here's my top 3 exercises for building muscle using the power of rings. I'm going to keep it real. 80% of my biceps growth was from...
Yeah, believe him. I honestly, I got to tell you the truth, I like rings. Look, man, when I was younger, I did gymnastics. I took gymnastics, so I really like gymnastics. I believe in the rings, and I like rings. They're really good.
Chin-ups. I've been working out for 15 years now, and in the first 5 years of my journey, I only did compound exercises. I'm talking chin-ups, pull-ups, and inverted rows.
There you go. Those type of exercises are heavily eccentric. Heavily. See what I mean? That's what's building them. The eccentric exercise is what builds muscles. Concentric there's very little, if any, growth at all in eccentric. I'm not saying concentric. I'm not saying that concentric exercises may not be able to, or may be able to get some micro tears, but it's so minimum. It's so minimal. It's hard to, bro. It's not happening. It's not happening, bro. I'm telling you.
Never touched any isolation exercise with weights or with calisthenics. I know it's
that's a good stretching exercise for the back. They're pulling up and then stretching it out, going backward. But don't like using arms. That's the problem. So now look at his physique. You could tell this guy does a lot of eccentric work. I mean, his muscles are very dense. These are dense. These aren't puffy, masked up muscles. They're very dense. So yeah, this dude's pretty strong.
But I was able to build up my biceps without any direct work. But I was strong. I was able to lift plus 80 kilos on my 1 rep max on the chin-up, which was essentially my body weight.
And the thing with this too, these calisthenics guys, they do a lot of chin-ups, man. And they use a lot of heavy work. They also do that, the dips. They do dips and these pull-ups, the 2 major ones, and with heavyweight. And those are if they're doing it full eccentrically, definitely, man, it's a builder, dude. Because I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
added for 1 rep. Now I know this is N of 1, but it still does show the transformative effects
There's a lot of damage going on here in these muscles, dude.
of chin-ups for growth. I'm not recommending this approach. A smarter way is to sprinkle in some isolation to put those finishing touches on your physique. The Pelican curl is a unique biceps exercise using your body weight as resistance. For those of you familiar with incline curls at the gym, the ones where you've got your bench set up around 45 to 60 degrees, the Pelican curl targets your biceps in a similar way. Just take a look at the arm position. When we're
Yeah, but there's more eccentric stress on the bicep because it's pulling on it. You're pulling back, you're using your weight and your arms, it's pulling on it. That's the difference. The weights that you're doing there, they're not really pulling on it. It's not man, it's just not doing it. It's just not happening.
curling, our shoulders are extended, the arms are behind the torso.
I mean, not only are the biceps getting done here, the forearms, the biceps, and the shoulder, the front delt is and even the side here is getting is really getting some damage there.
Stretches and it elongates that long head of the biceps, emphasizing its involvement during the curl. Now, of course, the Pelican curl will grow your biceps as a whole. It's just that this specific angle of the curl does put a little bit more emphasis on that biceps peak. So if you're looking to get a more prominent, most muscular pose from the front, having those capped biceps, this little attention to detail may help your physique development. But why are we doing eccentric only reps for the Pelican curl? The truth is that most people...
There you go. Why does he say, why are we doing eccentric works? Because eccentric is what builds muscles. It's kind of obvious.
People aren't strong enough for the full range of motion. Well, they can only squeeze out maybe 1 rep of the Pelican curl down and up. This is riskier, it's not efficient for muscle growth, and there's a smarter way to do it.
Well, it's risky if you're weak at doing it. You wouldn't want to do this the very first time. You definitely want to build up to it. The whole point of eccentric exercise is to build up to it. Originally in the beginning, what I did was I always did eccentric concentric. See what I mean? But I would overwork it. I would use the eccentric. In science, they'll tell you overworking this muscle. It's an overworking of this muscle. They're not talking about overtraining. Overtraining means somebody that keeps coming in every day lifting. We're talking about overworking the muscle. How do you do that? Well, if you're doing a full upper body workout, so it's about multiple sets and reps that you're doing for each and every muscle group. So what happens is you're still getting concentric, but at some point you'll reach a plateau. I can't tell you at what point you'll reach a plateau. At some whatever weight range you reach, I don't know, it could be maybe you reach 240, maybe you reach 250 or something or whatever, and then bam, you're just not squeezing out anymore. So then we shift. Now we're strong enough to shift. We shift into eccentric overload training. We just overload the shit out of the muscles with eccentric exercises now, mostly focusing on eccentric and foregoing the concentric. We still get concentric, but
Pelican.
Sorry, I got bumped there. So we still get concentric in when we're trying to do eccentric overload. The only difference is we're not doing it for a full range of motion anymore. That's the difference. So that is a lot of the issues people in the gyms, they just don't understand. They don't know how to use this. They don't really know anything about bodybuilding, how to build muscles. They don't know anything. They just really don't understand eccentric exercise. To them, it's foreign, man. I don't know. So like I said, that's what you usually do. Now, there's some people that probably would just go right away into eccentric overload. They would try overloading the muscles right away like crazy and everything. I'd be very careful with that. You don't want to end up with an injury or something. I don't know. It depends. At first, I would start to build myself stronger so that you don't get injured. That's the whole point of eccentric exercise, is to build yourself big and strong so you never, ever get injured. That's the whole premise.
curl down and up. This is riskier, it's not efficient for muscle growth, and there's a smarter way to do it. Because we're stronger on the negative than on the positive with Pelican curls, we're able to do more reps, build more volume, and actually improve our
Well, you're stronger on the negative, the eccentric, because look, you're lowering yourself. Obviously, you're going to be stronger. Now, try pulling up in the concentric is going to be very difficult. Of course it is, because you're in a lengthened position now.
bicep development as a result. You see, most calisthenics exercises challenge your biceps most at full elbow flexion. Think about the chin-up as an example. By comparison, the Pelican curl strengthens your biceps at full elbow extension. It's going to build your biceps resilience in a different way compared to your normal chin-ups. So you're less likely to get any acute injuries if you've strengthened this vulnerable position. Time under tension is what makes Pelican curls so effective. We're using our muscles as brakes.
Yeah, honestly, I don't need to do any of this. This is just really slow work. This is great for people that are doing calisthenics. Maybe they want to just continue doing that. But in my world, I'm just eccentric overload. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. Just a waste of time for me, basically. But I'm just saying.
Slowly lowering down through that full range of motion into the stretch. Eccentric only training.
Of course, these guys want to train like just body weight, whatever workouts. But here's the thing: is it really all body weight when it comes to calisthenics? Not really, because he was using for the dips they use weight, and for the pull-ups they were using a weighted belt. So there you go.
Harnesses the muscle damage effects of using negatives as a workout method. You have to know that this is going to be a recipe for causing brutally sore muscles. You're going to wake up the next day or two.
Of course they're going to be brutally sore. They got muscle damage in there. You damaged them like crazy, man. You got fucking micro tears. Now they're going to start building. Protein synthesis is extended. Blood levels are elevated. Glycogen is extended. A whole bunch of things are going on there. There's a building effect now. You've triggered the building blocks, the mechanisms for growth.
With bicep DOMs like you've never had it before. Negatives are such a potent tool in your toolbox for bridging the gap between exercises that you can't.
Like I said, eventually they'll adapt. They'll adapt to this exercise. Then what will he have to do now? Because he's using body weight. Well, he's going to have to increase the sets. If he wants to keep getting more adaptations, then he's going to have to increase more of these sets. The reps can stay the same. He's going to need more sets, multiple sets. Why? Think about it. A unique feature of let's say, okay, a unique thing of untrained muscles. They get or unaccustomed exercise is known to cause what? Widespread muscle damage. Okay, is he accustomed to doing 10 sets of 10 reps right now? Yes, okay. All right. Let's say he does 15 sets of 10 reps. Is he unaccustomed to doing that? Because he's never done them before. Is he unaccustomed? Yes. So unaccustomed exercise is known to do what? Cause widespread muscle damage. Okay. So what's he need to do to get another adaptation now that he's adapted to that? Well, he needs to increase it. Let's say he goes up to 20 sets now. Is he unaccustomed to doing that? Yes. Will he get another adaptation? Yes. See what I mean? So every time you increase weights, you were unaccustomed to doing that. It's kind of obvious you're going to get this damage to come back. But that is in eccentric lifting muscle damage. That is not in concentric lifting. That doesn't work there. See what I mean? If you're unaccustomed, untrained, unfamiliar doing concentric lifting, you're not going to get any damage. See what I mean? But if you're focused on doing eccentric work, you're going to get damaged if you're unfamiliar, unaccustomed, and untrained doing those exercises. See what I mean? That's how you bring it back. And the body weight, the calisthenic people, they just have to keep increasing these sets. But that's going to just keep you there longer and longer every time to do more. But in eccentric overload, in bodybuilding, when you're overloading the muscles eccentrically, you're using astronomically heavy weight. So you don't have to sit there and do like, I gotta do 30 sets now of like 10 repetitions for my arms. You know what I mean? In fact, you could do 3 sets of astronomically heavy eccentric overload lifts, and 3 sets would be enough to damage it. There you go. And then every time you come back, you incrementally increase the weight. You keep increasing it and increasing it and increasing it to keep getting more new adaptations. See what I mean? That means you were unaccustomed. Every time you increase the weight, you were unaccustomed to it. And so you're going to get this damage come back. It's really simple.
Do through a full range of motion, but also building up muscle and strength at your own pace. You want to set up the rings around waist height, adjusting this higher or lower based on your level of strength. You're going to begin each rep in the bottom of a push-up, and then you're going to slowly lower down with control until your elbows are straight. Body posture is really important to stay mindful of. You want to keep your hips extended and your torso upright. This is going to keep all of the tension on the biceps. It keeps things reliable and repeatable as you progress your Pelican curl journey. A cheeky little hack to boost your strength on Pelican curls is to use a false grip. This shortens the lever arm of the movement and it makes it easier for your biceps to display their strength, increasing your reps and allowing you to use harder postures. In terms of progressing, once you're comfortable and strong at eccentrics, you're going to move on to the full range of motion. These are humble.
That's why real bodybuilders that do eccentric work can do calisthenics. They're good at doing them. Why? Because they're repeatedly damaging their muscles eccentrically. That's what calisthenics guys do. That's what real bodybuilders do. But the fake bodybuilders, they do concentric lifting. They'll never be strong at doing this calisthenics because they do not do eccentric work. Get it? Because eccentric is associated with muscular gains. It makes you bigger and stronger.
Hard, even if you're a really strong fella, because our biceps are working at a mechanical disadvantage, long muscle lengths. You need to be really strong to pull these off. But once you're able to do reps of the Pelican curl, full range of motion, there's just no way that you're not going to have beefy biceps. There's a big risk, big reward with Pelican curls. You must patiently progress this exercise. You have to respect it because there is room for injury with this one if you are very negligent with what you're doing. Take your time, build up slowly, and you'll have no problems. With big risk comes lots of tension. So you're going to develop two pairs of aesthetic, strong weapons of mass destruction. Once you're able to do 3 sets of 8+ reps, full ROM on the Pelican curl, expect your bicep strength to be absolute domination. Any gym lift that you do isolating the biceps will be such a breeze by comparison to the sheer tension that you have to overcome with this Pelican curl.
Yeah, because the amount of muscle fibers or sarcomere number in series 2 that you gain in myofibrillar growth, of course, you're gonna be able to exude more force production. Of course, you're gonna be super strong.
So the hard work is rewarded across the board. In the interest of balanced development, we can't neglect the short head of the biceps either, which is the next exercise on our list. The ring curl is your go-to option for biceps growth with calisthenics. Ring curls are like preacher curls at the gym using weights. We just have to look at the arm position relative to the body. The arms are extended in front of your body. This naturally shortens the long head of the bicep, which crosses that shoulder, so it can't help as much during your curl, which shifts more of the workload to the inner biceps, just like it would in a preacher curl. If you're looking to get a fuller, more aesthetic arm, especially when viewed from the front, you're going to get increased width of your bicep to a certain extent when you're doing an exercise like this. Why rings are incredible for curls is because they suit your anatomy. They're free to move around wherever you want, which means if you want to take a wider grip, go for it. If you want a closer grip, that's cool too. You can also choose your degree of supination based on what your anatomy can actually handle. The biceps, they don't discriminate. Muscles only understand tension, whether that's with weights at the gym, free weight dumbbells, barbells, machines, or using your body weight as resistance. If you train them hard and progressively with that tension, you will grow your biceps using rings. It's great knowing you never have to miss an arm day. With rings, you can train at home, you can bring them to the park, you can take them while you're traveling. There's just no excuse now for not getting in those gains because
why do I need the rings, man? If there's a bar there, I can just use a bar and keep pulling myself up and down on it. It's the same thing pretty much. Man, you don't even need the rings. You can use like a rope. You can use a rope and tie it up and do that with ropes. So, like, why do you need the rings? Like, okay, rings, whatever. See what I mean? You can get a rope and do it with rope.
are so cheap, accessible to everyone, or if you're just looking for some exercise variety to tick the box of bicep training, it's nice knowing that you have calisthenics options to get the job done. Start each rep with your elbows straight, then curl up towards your face, getting that elbow flexion as well as shoulder flexion for a complete biceps contraction. Don't just stop at technical failure. A common mistake people make is they end their set when they can no longer get that full range of motion. If this is the case, you're likely leaving muscle gains on the table. Instead, go closer towards muscular failure. On your last few reps, you should be struggling and shaking, only able to get up half or even a quarter range of motion. This tells me that you're using honest intensity, working your muscles close to their limit, and your results will reflect this hard work. Don't be afraid of failure on isolation exercise. It's not that taxing, it's not that fatiguing, it's not like we're doing heavy deadlifts to failure. Especially as a beginner, you're just not going to generate that much fatigue to make yourself tired, so go hard. If you never train with real effort or you never get close to failure, how do you know what intensity actually means? How do you know where your limit actually is? If you're looking to make your ring curls more difficult, try...
People don't, because they don't train with intensity. It's in eccentric exercise based on duration and intensity. That duration and intensity. What is that duration? Well, every time you have to endure, because the duration of that exercise, you have to keep increasing it. It's dependent. Could be sometimes you have to really overwork it. Depends. I mean, if you're using the same weight, you're gonna have to do. Look, you can still get damage with the same heavy weight that you were doing previously, but you're gonna definitely be stronger at it. But to get and eke out an adaptation doing that same weight, you're gonna have to do more sets. So the duration, there's the duration. The duration means more sets added, and then the intensity means the intensity that you've put into doing that movement, probably like 10 reps or 12 repetitions, whatever you're doing there. There's the intensity, and then the amount of sets you're doing, and the fact that the weight is extremely heavy going down in the eccentric.
Training one arm at a time. With unilateral exercise, you're pulling the entire weight of your body with a single arm.
Yeah, this is okay. So I do the same thing in bodybuilding. You do the same thing. So I started, once I've maxed out some of these weights, I start using one arm. I try pulling the entire stack with one arm now. To eke out more adaptations. That's all. Get bigger, get stronger. You get bigger, you get stronger. In eccentric exercise, just like eccentric bodybuilding, the same thing. You get bigger, you get stronger. That's how it works.
These are really difficult, so you can see how there's plenty of progression capacity with the ring curl using just one arm at a time. Unilateral training has been clearly proven to help with any muscle asymmetry in terms of size or strength in your biceps. So if you're someone looking to iron out any deficiencies arm to arm, single arm ring curls are a good choice. Otherwise, make them harder by adjusting the ring height lower over time to increase that difficulty going through your biceps, and play with your posture relative to horizontal. You're going to start like this and progress towards this, and eventually feet elevated curls for badass biceps. Expect your chin-ups to get stronger after ring curls. This is because with a better hardware, bigger biceps, you can then improve the software nervous system by doing our chin-ups, which is the next exercise.
So who says that old people can't build muscles? All old people can build muscles, providing they're doing eccentric exercise. They build it really fast. Protein synthesis is really is working really well there. In eccentric exercise, it always is, because the growth factors are activated through eccentric exercises. There you go. So you're actually not wasting your protein anymore. You're actually building real muscle instead of fooling around in the gym doing concentric lifts. One guy asked me in my channel, says, "Hey man, hey T, did you do concentric lifts? You get strong too, also concentric lifts? What are you talking about? We do concentric, eccentric. We're just focused more on the eccentric load. Still doing concentric, no matter what. You're still doing it because it's the initiating movement. Come on, man."
In today's video. If you want to build muscle with calisthenics, Body by Rings by Fitness FAQs is the best workout program to build an aesthetic physique using just bodyweight exercise. Shop fitnessfaqs.com to get our workout system. The ring chin-up is guaranteed to blow up your biceps if you get strong enough.
Yes, I believe him. Listen to what he says. If you get strong enough, they're guaranteed to blow up your biceps if you get strong enough. And how do you get strong at getting your biceps to get bigger? Easy. You do these exercises and then they get damaged and then they get bigger. And when they get bigger, they get stronger. That's it. It's the idea. That's the idea. They got damaged because they were weak. Look, your muscles were weak at doing that exercise. Do you understand me? And so when they did them, they got damaged. And when they got damaged, they had to adapt by doing what? By repairing and remodeling a lot bigger and stronger. So now when you come back, they won't get damaged again with a repeated bout. But if you change that bout and it's not repeated, you add more, whatever, sets to it, higher intensity, whatever, then they'll get damaged again. Get it? See what I mean? But they won't get damaged with a repeated bout. That's the problem.
Benefit of ring chin-ups is we're using that supinated grip. It's been proven to use more biceps when you're doing vertical pulling exercises.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, supinated twists. Yeah, okay.
The problem with doing chin-ups using a straight bar is that it forces us into an awkward position. You see, there's something called the carrying angle of the elbow. It's the distance between the forearm and the humerus when the elbows are extended and supinated. For people that have poor shoulder and elbow mobility or a greater carrying angle of their elbows, they're the ones that when they do chin-ups with a bar find them painful and uncomfortable. Let's drill this point home with the straight bar biceps curl. This exercise isn't popular in gym culture because it's uncomfortable for most people. It hurts the joints.
Yeah, I believe him.
Causes tendon issues, and it works these areas more than the actual bicep muscle itself. The same thing can be said for straight bar chin-ups. By doing your chin-ups on rings, it's a much more friendly joint and tendon option. Because of the freedom of movement, you can use a natural pulling path. This feels so much better on your elbows, shoulders, and your wrists, allowing you to pull pain-free and get those huge muscular gains. The instability of rings is a feature, not a bug. Because of this freedom of movement and instability, you're working more on your stabilizer muscles by comparison to fixed equipment. This builds a high degree of joint stability because you've always got to be mindful and dominant during your exercise. A bonus benefit is you're also getting core strength for free because of this exercise environment. People will argue that rings are bad for hypertrophy because of this instability. You can't produce as much force. You can't build muscle if you're sidelined by injury. You can't train at your peak performance if you've got aches and pains. By using the rings, it circumvents these problems which tend to plague many lifters or people doing calisthenics. It's about the long game. With rings, you're still getting plenty of muscle stimulus, but you're reducing that risk of injury, allowing you to progressively overload long term. Keep things simple. It's not rocket science. In the hang, you want to have your elbows straight, and at the top, you want to get your chin at least above the bottom of the ring, or full elbow compression if you're able to. When doing ring chin-ups, you're more likely to swing around and use momentum because of the instability. Simply use a vertical body path. This is going to minimize wasted energy, and it's going to automatically correct your technique through your entire kinetic chain. Progress your chin-ups by working on the mantle variation. This one is a unilateral exercise where one arm is doing more of the work and the other one is just assisting as little as needed. I much prefer this over, say, something like an archer chin-up just because it's a more scalable exercise. The value is you can slowly take away fingers on that assisting arm as you get stronger, or you can change how much assistance you're giving in a more accurate way so that you can work high, moderate, or low rep.
Okay, so he's assisting his other arm. Why is he using one finger? I have no clue, but whatever. You can assist, right? You know, I've done that in the gym, assisting my arm doing more eccentric work.
Ranges. This is great for hypertrophy because there's a ton of mechanical tension going through your back as well as your biceps for growth. The mantle chin-up also builds specific strength towards the one-arm chin-up, which is a bucket list goal for any calisthenics bro. You see, chin-ups allow you to get bigger and stronger forever. It's always a good idea to have a compound exercise in your workout program, such as chin-ups, to allocate some of your weekly biceps volume. For naturals who are looking to build muscle, performance is one of the most important important training metrics. Forget about adding tons of sets. Forget about doing endless reps in order to chase the pump. Just lift heavier with weighted chin-ups. You have to choose exercises that have an endless progression potential. How much you can lift on a chin-up is going to correlate with how big your biceps are. A beginner who's doing 5 reps with their body weight on a chin-up is likely smaller than someone who's advanced, doing 5 reps with plus 40 kilos on their chin-ups. Keep in mind that the length of the strap makes a difference. If you're doing your
I believe him.
ring chin-ups on a squat rack and the length of the strap is quite short, there's not going to be that much instability and you're going to feel stronger as a result. By comparison to really long ring straps, there's much more instability, so don't be surprised if your chin-up performance is lower when training with longer straps. Here's an important tip about ring workouts that most people don't do. Track your training by writing down your workouts. You wouldn't go into the gym and have no idea how much you're lifting on a biceps curl. You shouldn't go into your ring workout without any idea of what height you're using on your curls. For measuring intensity with calisthenics isolation, it's about your body posture. Take note of the length of the straps. What number are they set up? If you don't have numbered straps, you can always use your body as a reference. The bottom of the ring at stomach height, waist height, mid-thigh, etc. I stress the importance of writing down your workouts in a log, if it's an app, if it's a spreadsheet, if it's paper, because it allows you to stay motivated in your journey.
Well, you want to know how many sets you did the last time, right? Every time you want a new adaptation, you want to remember what you did the last time so you can, I don't know, do more sets so you can eke out some more adaptations. That's the idea, yeah.
I see a trend. The people that don't write anything down, they go into their workouts and they have no motivation.
I've got motivation and I don't need to write things down, actually. I remember the last workout. And I remember what I'm doing in my workout, so I know to increase the weight incrementally. It's incremental lifts. That's the whole point.
The reason for this is because your exercise lacks meaning. You don't know what you did previously, what you should do currently, or what you're trying to progress to in the future. Instead, write things down. You can coach yourself, and over time, you'll be surprised with what you've been able to achieve. We can't discount that genetics play an important role. We've got our parents to thank with what we're born with. Our muscle insertion of the bicep determines the look.
These calisthenic people, they're really lean, right? They're so into like dieting, specific dieting, getting really super lean and getting super jacked, which is a great goal, man. They have it together, man. Compared to like bodybuilders, I mean the fake bodybuilders, the real bodybuilders, they're gonna look jacked and shit like this and everything and muscular. The fake ones, they're not gonna look like that.
The shape and also the strength of our biceps. Some people have a more pronounced peak, others have more biceps width. What is in your control is consistent training, progressive overload, and doing the best with what you've got. Alright everyone, check out this playlist here to learn everything you need to.
That's a pretty good video, man. I know. You tell me what you think about that. I'll talk to you friends the next time in the next video, my friend. Comment down below. See you in the next one. Ciao.